I always thought my life was simple. I worked hard, came home on time, and believed my house was my safe place. Emma used to say, "You're boring, but you're mine." I would laugh and reply, "Boring pays the bills." That was our rhythm. I trusted her with my whole heart and I never questioned it. One evening, Emma asked, "Did you eat at work again?" "I was busy," I said. She sighed. "You're always busy now." I looked at her and smiled. "I'm doing this for us." At the office, I barely noticed Ramesh. He was the peon who cleaned desks and brought files. He kept his head down and spoke softly. "Sir, tea?" he asked every morning. "Thanks," I replied without looking up. He was invisible to me, just part of the building. At home, things started to feel strange, but I ignored it. Emma stopped looking at me when she talked. When I asked, "Are you okay?" she snapped, "Why do you keep asking?" "I just care," I said. "Well, stop hovering," she replied. That night at dinner, I tried again. "We don't talk like before." She shrugged. "Maybe you changed." I felt a small sting but told myself not to be dramatic. "Work stress," I said. "It'll pass." Later, my phone buzzed. Daniel called. "Bro, you awake?" he asked. "Yeah." "What's up?" "I don't want to mess with your head," he said slowly, "but something feels off." "With Emma?" I asked, surprised. "Yeah. You look tired." "She looks distant." "Just saying." I laughed it off. "You watch too many dramas." "I'm serious," he said. "I trust my wife," I replied firmly. "She's not that person." Daniel went quiet. "All right. I hope I'm wrong." After the call, Emma walked past me without a word. "Good night," I said. She paused. "You coming to bed?" "In a minute," I replied. She nodded and left. I sat alone, staring at the wall. I told myself I was overthinking. Every marriage had phases. Still, a strange heaviness stayed in my chest. The next weekend, a neighbor mentioned a break-in nearby. Emma looked nervous. "We should get security," she said quickly. "I was thinking the same," I replied. "Just to be safe." I ordered a small hidden camera online. When it arrived, Emma asked, "What's that?" "Just a camera," I said. "For the living room." She frowned. "Isn't that extreme?" "It's for protection," I answered calmly. "Nothing else." That night, while fixing it, Emma watched silently. "You don't trust me?" she asked suddenly. I looked at her, confused. "Of course I do. This isn't about you." She nodded but didn't smile. "Okay." The next morning at work, Ramesh came again. "Sir, files for meeting," he said softly. "Leave them there," I replied. He hesitated. "Madam called yesterday." I looked up. "Madam?" "Your wife," he said quickly. "She asked about office address." "Oh," I said. "Probably for paperwork." He nodded and walked away. That small moment didn't register fully, but it lingered. That evening, Emma asked casually, "Do you see that peon every day?" "Ramesh?" I asked. "Yes," she said too quickly. "He seems polite." "He does his job," I replied. "Why?" "No reason," she said, turning away. At dinner, she scrolled her phone. "Who are you texting?" I asked. "Linda," she said. "Don't start." "I didn't," I replied. Later, she asked, "Do you still trust me?" I laughed. "Why would you ask that?" She forced a smile. "Just asking." Before sleeping, Daniel texted me. "Promise me one thing." "What?" "Don't ignore your gut." I put the phone down and looked at Emma sleeping beside me. I told myself love meant faith, not suspicion. As I lay there, listening to her breathing, I believed I was still the luckiest man alive. The camera blinked quietly in the other room, unseen, waiting. I closed my eyes and whispered, "Everything is fine." I believed it because I needed to. The day started like any other. I woke up early, checked my phone, and kissed Emma on the forehead. She turned away and muttered, "You're going to be late again." "I'll try not to," I said. She didn't reply. At work, files piled up, meetings dragged on, and nothing felt unusual. Ramesh passed by my desk. "Sir, tea?" he asked. "Later," I said. He nodded and walked away. By evening, my head hurt. I reached home, dropped my bag, and called out, "Emma?" "Kitchen," she replied. Dinner was quiet. Too quiet. "You're not eating," she said. "Not hungry," I replied. She nodded and changed the topic. "I'm going to Linda's tomorrow." "Okay," I said, forcing a smile. After dinner, Emma went to shower. I sat on the couch and opened the camera app without thinking. Felt like checking the time. Just a habit. The screen loaded slowly. "Come on," I muttered. At first I saw nothing. An empty living room. I relaxed. See? I whispered to myself. You're crazy. Then the audio caught something. A laugh. Soft. Familiar. My fingers froze. Emma? I said under my breath. I turned the volume up. Did you miss me? Her voice asked. My heart dropped. No, I whispered. No. The door opened on screen. Ramesh stepped inside. That's not possible, I said aloud. That's not him. Emma walked into the frame. She smiled in a way I hadn't seen in months. You're early, she said on the recording. I couldn't wait, Ramesh replied. I stood up so fast the chair fell. My hands started shaking. This can't be real, I kept saying. This can't be real. On the screen she touched his arm. Careful, she laughed. My husband could come anytime. Ramesh smiled. He never comes early. Those words punched through my chest. I sat back down slowly. My breathing felt wrong, like my lungs forgot how to work. I paused the video. No, I said. I need context. I rewound it. I played it again. Their voices sounded clearer the second time. I missed you, Emma said. I missed you more, Ramesh replied. I covered my mouth. My throat burned, but no tears came. She doesn't talk like that to me, I whispered. I skipped forward. They sat on the couch. The same couch I was sitting on. Stop, I said loudly, though no one could hear me. My finger hovered, but I kept watching. On screen, Ramesh said, "What if he finds out?" Emma laughed. "He trusts me. He's blind." I replayed that line again and again. He's blind. He's blind. He's blind. I pressed pause and stared at the frozen image. "I'm right here," I said. "I'm not blind." My phone buzzed. A message from Emma, even though she was in the bathroom. "Did you take out the trash?" I looked from the message to the screen. "You were texting me while this happened," I whispered. I closed the app, then opened it again. "Maybe it's old footage," I said. I checked the timestamp. Today. 2 hours ago. My chest felt heavy, like someone was sitting on it. "Okay," I said slowly. "Okay. Stay calm." I played it one more time, hoping for a miracle. Maybe the angle was wrong. Maybe the sound was edited. Maybe I was dreaming. But the voices stayed the same. The smile stayed the same. The truth didn't change. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't throw my phone. I just sat there staring. Emma walked out of the bathroom, drying her hair. "You look pale," she said. "Long day," I replied. She smiled. "You should rest." "Yeah," I said quietly. She went to the bedroom. I stayed on the couch. I stared at the black phone screen like it might lie to me if I asked nicely. I whispered, "This isn't my life." But the silence answered me back. The man who cleaned floors at my office had walked into my home, laughed on my couch, and touched my wife like she belonged to him. And I had seen it all. Every second. Every word. I sat there until the screen dimmed. My hands stopped shaking, but my heart felt empty. I finally understood something I never wanted to learn. Trust doesn't break loudly. It breaks in silence while you're watching, unable to move. Dinner felt heavier than usual. Emma talked like everything was normal, and I answered with as few words as possible. "The office was crazy today," she said. I replied. She glanced at me. "You're quiet." "Just tired," I said. Every word she spoke felt rehearsed. Every smile felt borrowed. I watched her hands move, the same hands I had seen on the screen. I wanted to scream, but my mouth stayed shut. Silence felt safer than truth. She asked, "Did you pay the electricity bill?" "Yes." "And the internet?" "Yes." She frowned. "Why are you acting strange?" "I'm not," I said. That was my first lie to her. Her phone buzzed. She checked it quickly and smiled. "Who is it?" I asked. "Linda," she said. "She wants to come over tomorrow." "Sure," I replied. My stomach tightened. The next afternoon, Linda arrived with forced energy. "Hey," she said, hugging Emma too tightly. "Hi," I said. She avoided my eyes. That told me more than words ever could. We sat in the living room. Linda laughed loudly. "You both look good," she said. Emma smiled. "He's just stressed." Linda nodded too fast. "Yeah, work does that." I watched Linda's fingers twist around her cup. "Everything okay?" I asked her. "Perfect," she said quickly. "Why wouldn't it be?" When Linda left, Emma asked, "Why were you staring at her?" "I wasn't," I said. "You were," she replied. "Maybe I was," I said calmly. That night, memories attacked me. Our wedding. Our laughter. her promises. Was any of it real? I asked myself quietly. The question echoed unanswered. I didn't sleep. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, replaying moments that now felt fake. Her late nights, her sudden anger, her smiles that didn't reach her eyes. I wondered what I lacked. I wondered when I became replaceable. The next evening I met Daniel. "You don't look okay," he said. "I'm not," I replied. He waited. I swallowed. "She's cheating." Daniel's face froze. "Are you sure?" "I saw it," I said. "Everything." He clenched his jaw. "I'm sorry, man." He leaned forward. "You need to confront her." "No," I said immediately. "Why not?" "Because I need the truth to finish exposing itself," I replied. Daniel shook his head. "That's torture." "I know," I said. "But anger will make me stupid. I don't want that." He sighed. "What do you want then?" "Clarity," I said. "Justice, not noise." He studied me. "You're not weak for waiting." "I know," I said. "I'm being patient." When I got home, Emma asked, "Where were you?" "With Daniel," I replied. She smiled. "Good. You need friends." I nodded. "Yeah, I do." That night she touched my arm. "You've been distant," she said softly. "I'm just thinking," I replied. "About what?" "About us," I said. That was the truth. She pulled her hand away. "Well, don't overthink," she said. "Trust me." I almost laughed. Instead, I nodded. "I trust you," I said. That was my last lie. Inside, something shifted. I stopped seeing her as my wife and started seeing her as a stranger. I stopped feeling angry and started feeling cold. Cold was easier. I began watching, listening, remembering. I saved messages. I noted times. I stayed quiet. Every lie she told stacked itself neatly in my mind. I wasn't planning revenge. I wasn't dreaming of yelling or breaking things. I was preparing for the moment when silence would speak louder than screams. As I lay in bed beside her, I thought, let them think I know nothing. I closed my eyes and whispered to myself, the truth always gets tired of hiding. I waited until dinner was over. Emma stood by the sink, scrolling her phone, acting normal. "Emma?" I said calmly. "What?" she replied, still looking down. "Sit with me for a minute." She frowned. "Why?" We sat across from each other. I placed my phone face down and pressed record. "You seem nervous," she said. "I'm not," I replied. "I just want to talk." She crossed her arms. "About what?" "About Ramesh," I said softly. Her face changed. "What about him?" "Don't lie," I said. "Just answer." She laughed nervously. "You're imagining things." "I'm not," I said. "Try again." Her voice rose. "Why are you accusing me?" "I'm not accusing," I replied. "I'm asking." She stood up. "This is ridiculous." "Sit down," I said, still calm. That scared her. She sat slowly. "You're acting strange," she whispered. "So are you," I said. She took a breath. "Okay. Maybe he talked to me." "Inside our house?" I asked. "He came once," she said quickly. "For work stuff." I nodded. "Go on." She hesitated. "I was lonely." "Lonely?" I repeated. "You're never home," she said. I felt invisible. "So you made me invisible?" I asked. She snapped. "You pushed me there." "No," I said. "You walked there." She looked away. "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly," I replied. "You chose him." Tears filled her eyes. "Please don't ruin my life." I leaned forward. "You already did." She reached for my hand. "We can fix this." I pulled back. "I don't shout," I said. "I decide." She whispered, "What are you going to do?" "Nothing," I replied. "Not yet." That scared her more than anger ever could. The next morning I met Mr. Collins. "You requested leave?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "Reason?" "Personal," I replied. He studied me. "You're a solid employee." "Thank you," I said. "Take the time," he said. "Come back focused." I nodded. "I will." At home, Emma watched me pack a bag. "Where are you going?" she asked. "Guest room," I said. She followed me. "You're really doing this?" "I already did," I replied. She cried. "Please don't tell anyone." "I won't," I said. "Silence is enough." She grabbed my arm. "I'll end it." "You already should have," I replied. That night I lay alone. I felt calm. No rage. No tears. just clarity. I realized something important. Power wasn't loud. Control didn't scream. It waited. I stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Let karma walk." Things didn't explode. They slipped. That's how karma woke up. Quiet, slow, unavoidable. At work, Ramesh dropped a file on Mr. Collins's desk. "Read the label," Mr. Collins said sharply. "Sorry, sir," Ramesh replied. "You've been sorry a lot lately," Mr. Collins said. "Focus." I watched from my desk. Ramesh avoided my eyes. His hands shook. "Sir T?" he asked me later. "No," I said. "Not today." At home, Emma watched me more than the television. "Who are you texting?" she asked. "No one," I replied. She reached for my phone. "Let me see." I pulled it back. "Why?" "Just asking," she said too quickly. That night she leaned close. "You don't touch me anymore," she whispered. "I'm tired," I said. "Tired of me?" "I didn't say that." She stared at me. "Are you seeing someone?" I laughed softly. "Is that what you think of me?" She looked away. "I'm just scared." I met Daniel the next day. "You look stronger," he said. "I feel clearer," I replied. He nodded. I set up a meeting. "Lawyer. Her name's Sophia." Sophia didn't waste time. "You have evidence?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "Then don't rush," she said. "Let patterns form." I asked, "What if she tries to fix things?" Sophia smiled slightly. "Then you stay still." At home, Emma cooked my favorite meal. "I made this for you," she said. "Thanks," I replied. She waited. "Do you like it?" "It's fine," I said. She slammed the spoon down. "You don't care anymore." "I care," I said calmly. "Just differently." Her eyes filled. "I'm afraid." I thought she didn't fear losing me when she betrayed me. At work, Mr. Collins called my name. "Office," he said. I stood. He closed the door behind me. "Something came up," he said. I watched from my desk as Mr. Collins called Ramesh into his office. "Sit," Mr. Collins said firmly. Ramesh obeyed, fidgeting nervously. "You've been careless," Mr. Collins continued, "and there are complaints about misconduct." "Sir, I didn't," Ramesh stammered. "You did. And it stops now," Mr. Collins said, his voice sharp. I leaned back, silent, letting the confrontation play out. I didn't need to speak. The truth was already moving. Later, Ramesh came to me. "Sir, I messed up," he said, voice trembling. "You did," I replied evenly. "Please, don't ruin me," he begged. "It's not me ruining you," I said. "You did that yourself." He hung his head. "I never wanted this." "I'm sorry." "Too late," I whispered. At home, Emma's unease became palpable. She kept checking my phone, watching my expressions, following my movements. "Where are you going?" she asked again. "Out," I said calmly. "Alone?" "Yes." Her panic grew. She asked the same questions repeatedly, each one sharper than the last. "Who were you talking to?" "Business," I replied. She flinched. "Business?" "Yes." One evening, Daniel introduced me to Sophia, a lawyer. She didn't waste words. "Evidence?" she asked. "I have it," I said. "Then wait," she said. "Patience is your strongest weapon." Her presence gave me clarity. I wasn't a victim. I was watching, calculating, letting the pieces fall into place. Emma's attempts at charm or guilt didn't reach me. A week later, Mr. Collins called me. "Office," he said. I walked in. "Ramesh has been suspended," he said quietly. I nodded. "Understood." Later that night, Emma confronted me. "Did you speak to Mr. Collins?" she asked, voice trembling. "I did," I said. Her face drained of color. "Suspended?" "Yes." She fell to her knees. I never meant for this to happen. I was weak. "I made a mistake," she said, tears streaming. I listened. No anger surfaced. Only emptiness. "I've confessed everything," she said, voice broken. "I'm sorry." "Please." "You're sorry," I said. "That's clear." She reached for my hand. "We can fix this. Please don't let it end like this." I shook my head. I already moved on emotionally. Her sobs filled the room. "I love you." "I love the woman I thought you were," I said. My voice was steady. I retrieved the divorce papers I had prepared. She froze. You're serious?" she whispered. "Yes," I replied, calmly placing them in front of her. She stared at them, trembling. "You don't even hesitate?" "No," I said. "This is final." "I can change," she cried. "You changed," I said softly. "But not for me. Not for us." I didn't linger. I left her to her tears, sitting quietly as the reality sank in. She had wanted control, passion, secrecy, but she had lost it all. And yet I felt no triumph. Only clarity. I looked at the camera, still recording silently. It had captured everything, the betrayal, the lies, the fear. But it wasn't proof for vengeance anymore. It was evidence of truth. Emma begged, pleaded, cried, but I didn't respond. I simply stood there, hands steady, feeling the calm that had eluded me for months. I realized closure doesn't come from revenge. It comes from acceptance. "Sign these," I said finally. She nodded, shaking. I left the papers on the table and walked away. For the first time in months, my chest felt lighter. The house was quiet. The truth had no place to hide, and now neither did I. I had stepped out of the storm, unbroken, unshaken, finally free. Ramesh didn't show up the next day. I heard from Mr. Collins that he'd been fired. "Effective immediately," Mr. Collins said. I nodded. Understood. At work, whispers followed Ramesh like a shadow. His mistakes, his misconduct, his betrayal, all laid bare. He avoided eye contact with everyone. I didn't say a word. Silence was enough. At home, Emma's world unraveled quietly. Friends stopped calling. Linda, her closest ally, distanced herself. "Linda's busy," Emma said one evening. "Busy or avoiding you?" I asked calmly. Emma paused. "Maybe, avoiding me." Gossip spread like wildfire. Neighbors, co-workers, even distant relatives seemed to know. Emma's face changed each time someone mentioned it. She stopped smiling, stopped laughing. She became a ghost of the person I once knew. Sophia called me to finalize legal papers. "Everything is ready," she said. "You can submit whenever you're ready." "I will," I replied. Emma confronted me after that call. Her eyes red from crying. Please don't make this worse," she said. "I won't," I said. "I already have everything I need." She shook her head. "I can fix this. I can." "No," I interrupted softly. "You already made your choice." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Do you still love me?" she asked, her voice trembling. I stared at her. I felt nothing like I had before. "I love the woman I thought you were," I said honestly. She went silent. Her chest heaved. I didn't need to say more. Silence carried the weight. Emma tried to explain, to justify herself, to beg for understanding. "I was lonely," she said. "I didn't mean." "You meant exactly what you did," I said. She fell to the floor, hands covering her face. "I was weak," she admitted. "I'm sorry." I knelt beside her once, just to see her remorse. No words came. I didn't need to scold her. Karma was working quietly, naturally. Neighbors whispered when she passed. Friends turned away. The life she thought she had was gone. But I felt no triumph. I didn't celebrate. I simply watched from a distance, letting time do its work. I packed my things quietly that weekend. I rented a small apartment not far from my office. I wanted space to breathe, to rebuild, to live without betrayal hanging over my head. I set up a new routine. Early mornings, work, occasional calls with Daniel, quiet evenings. No distractions, no temptations, no reminders of the past. The first night in my apartment, I slept without tossing or turning. The silence felt like freedom. I realized how heavy my old house had been even before knowing the truth. Weeks later, I opened the old hidden camera footage one last time. Every image, every sound, every betrayal stared back at me. I stared back without fear or pain. I paused it. I took a deep breath. Then I deleted everything. "No more ghosts," I whispered. "No more looking back." Emma called once, her voice hesitant. "Why are you doing this?" she asked. "I'm living," I replied simply. She didn't respond. That was fine. I looked around my new apartment. Empty walls, a small kitchen, a bed I could actually rest in. Peace had arrived quietly, without shouting, without revenge. I went about my life. I worked. I ate. I slept. I smiled occasionally, lightly, for no one but myself. Some nights, memories flickered, Emma laughing, Ramesh smiling, but they were just shadows now. They didn't control me. I didn't hate them. I didn't need to. Karma had walked its path. I had walked mine. I finally understood something important. Closure isn't about watching someone fall. It's about standing up after the fall, steady, free, and untouched. That night, I lay on my bed, eyes closed. For the first time in months, I didn't replay the past. I didn't plan. I didn't hope for vengeance. I only breathed. And in that quiet, in that freedom, I realized something simple but powerful. I was alive. I was free. I was myself again. I whispered into the darkness, "It's over." Then I slept, finally at peace. Months passed and life settled into a quiet rhythm. The mornings were still, the evenings calm. I made coffee, read emails, and sometimes just sat by the window watching people go by. The weight that had haunted me slowly lifted. One afternoon, Daniel called. "Coffee?" he asked. "Sure," I replied. At the cafe, he leaned back, smiling. "You look different," he said. "I feel different," I replied. "Not bitter. Not angry." "Really?" he asked, raising an eyebrow. "Yes," I said. "Pain taught me more than comfort ever could. I've learned control, patience, self-respect." Daniel nodded slowly. "So you're healed?" "I'd say rebuilt," I corrected. "Stronger, wiser. I don't dwell on what they did. I focus on what I became because of it." He laughed softly. "That's impressive." "Not impressive," I said. "Necessary." We talked about work, small achievements, even hobbies I had ignored for months. I shared without complaining. I laughed without guilt. The shadows of betrayal had shrunk into the background, leaving only clarity. Later, as I returned home, my phone buzzed. "Emma." I stared at the screen. Her name. The memories. The lies. I didn't answer. I didn't delete the message either. I simply ignored it. She tried again. And again. Silence became my answer. Not out of cruelty, but because I no longer needed closure from her. The closure had come from within. I sat on my couch, coffee in hand, thinking. Betrayal didn't break me. It rebuilt me. Every sleepless night, every doubt, every silent tear had shaped me. I understood my worth now. Emotional strength didn't come from yelling, begging, or punishing. It came from quiet endurance and self-respect. Months ago, I had felt powerless, watching my home invaded, my trust destroyed. Now, power wasn't about control over them, it was about control over myself. Silence, patience, and clarity were stronger than any revenge I could imagine. I remembered the hidden camera, the recordings, Ramesh's fear, Emma's panic. Those moments had been devastating then, but now they were lessons, not anchors. I had walked through fire and emerged calm, unshaken, steady. Daniel called again. "You're different," he said. "I am," I replied. "I'm not defined by anger or betrayal anymore. I'm defined by what I choose to build, not what others destroy." I set down my cup and looked around my apartment. The walls were bare but comforting. The furniture simple but mine. I could rearrange, restart, reshape without anyone's shadow lingering. That evening I stood before the mirror. I studied my reflection, the lines on my face, the strength in my eyes. "I survived," I whispered. The words felt true. Not prideful, not boastful, just honest. I smiled faintly. There was peace in the acknowledgement, a quiet justice. I didn't need to punish. Karma had walked its course naturally without my interference. My part had been to rise, to stay steady, to rebuild. I thought about Emma, about Ramesh, about every lie and every stolen moment. I didn't feel bitterness. I didn't crave revenge. They were lessons, not enemies. The past existed only to remind me of what I refused to become. I turned from the mirror and walked to the window. Night had fallen. City lights blinked in patterns I hadn't noticed before. The air felt clean, fresh, free. I whispered again, quieter this time. "I survived." It wasn't a declaration to anyone else. It was for me. Every day forward would be mine. Every choice mine. Every moment mine. And in that silence, in that acceptance, I found the freedom I had sought for so long. Betrayal had been a storm, but I had learned to stand still, to endure, to rebuild. I sat back, coffee forgotten, letting the quiet fill me. I was no longer the man betrayed. I was the man who had survived, who had grown, who had reclaimed his life without shouting, without forcing, without hate. And that, I realized, was the strongest victory of all.